What's good, BlakGooseTV family? Nothing but love, blessings, positivity. I'm sending y'all way as always. But look, we got a fire ass story. We got another fight announcement. What is that? That's 3 fight announcements that we've been talking about tonight that I'm giving y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? Show your boys some love. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming with the heavy boxing news that nobody else is talking about. Everybody focused on all the other bullshit. I'm giving y'all the real. So I got another boxing announcement. This has to do with Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. Now, I don't know how real this is, right? You already know, man, when it comes to the boxing game, you got to be very, very careful when it comes to two fighters being in talks or in negotiation for a particular fight to happen. A lot of that is usually kind of like one side of the team throwing something out in the media so they can get leverage on the negotiation side and make it seem like, you know what I'm saying? Because in reality, let me rewind it back. In reality, let's say Teofimo Lopez's team is pushing for the Josh Taylor fight. All they got to do is pay a little bit of money. They got to put the story out there. And all of a sudden, now you got shit making the rounds in the boxing news media. Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor is in negotiations for Undisputed. And it can happen vice versa as well. So, you learn when it comes to business, or especially this boxing business, negotiation, marketing, you're trying to get the upper hand on the other person. So just because you see something like this put out there doesn't mean it's real, right? It can easily be a negotiation tactic. Where if Teofimo Lopez, they want this fight to happen and they feel like, they're not getting, responses the way they should, or the numbers don't look right. If they put something out in the media where it seems like they're in talks and another team comes out and says, no, that's not the case, they'll be able to gain some, think about David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant, right? David Benavidez' team was just pushing out there, media, saying, hey, we want this fight. We're giving offers to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is ignoring it. He's backing down. He's a buster. He don't want the fight, right? And we ran with it with boxing media. We ran with it. Oh, Caleb Plant don't want to fight. And Caleb Plant can say, man, we ain't never had nothing real in front of us, bro. Like, that's cap. You know what I'm saying? But it's a marketing tactic and a negotiating tactic where it'll get the people talking about a particular fight that may not even be close to happening, but it'll put pressure on a particular party that may not be too interested in the fight to now consider, because now you have public perception saying, hey, why aren't you willing to make this fight? This guy wants to do it, but you don't. You're scared, right? In the long grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it comes down to money. But sometimes it does work. So I'm not saying this is real. I'm not saying this is legit. I haven't even started reading the article to see, where they're getting this information from. But I just kind of want to give you a disclaimer when it comes to this. But according to this article, is from Boxing News 24, Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor is in negotiations for Undisputed at 140. Now, that's now, if they're in negotiations, that means we're talking about a fight between these two before the end of the year, 2022 type shit. And this is me just once again, I probably sound like a parrot or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where I'm just repeating myself, saying the same thing over and over. But I say nothing but thank you to the boxing guys. I say thank you to the boxing guys for 2022, because if this ends up being announced, bro, this is going to be one of the biggest years when it comes to fights, when it comes to boxing, in my opinion, or at least when I started following it heavy, like all these major fights being made, and we're going to be able to watch them in 1 year. I love it. I'm going to appreciate it, because a lot of times I'm a little scared. That means that we're going to have a fire ass year, but then the next 2 years are going to be trash. But fuck it, I'm not even going to look that far ahead. Let me live in the moment. Let me enjoy the moment right now, and not let me be extra with it. Okay. So with that being said, right, Teofimo Lopez coming back at 140 against Josh Taylor, and that being an option is absolutely amazing, in my opinion. You already seen, I dropped some videos previously. It was a little bit while back. I'll say probably like a month back, where I was saying, I was reading and listening to the whispers around the boxing community that Teofimo Lopez was getting ready to come back. He was gearing up. He was training, etc. He got over the sickness or the health scares that he had when he fought Cambosos. He did end up having surgery on his wrist or his hand. In some reference, it was one of the two. I might be wrong. Y'all correct me below. So make sure I get the right information out there to y'all. But they said, I remember, I did a video. Where his pops was like, as soon as that's healed up, he's right back to training. So I'm pretty sure by now he's healed up, because that was about a month ago, like I said. And so if this is true, and we see Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez at 140 on Undisputed, that's crazy. It's like I continue to be like, okay, when I hear a fight announcement or something getting close, I'm like, this is going to be the biggest fight of 2022. And it's like the boxing guys, they'd be like, nah, hold up. Let me throw this out here, right? So what do you guys think about this particular announcement? Do you think it's true at all? Is there anything that we can run with and be like, this may happen? Let's find out, right? We're going to go into this article, and I want to see if they just capping or if they're really telling us the truth, man. It's from Boxing News 24. Teofimo Lopez let the cat out of the bag by revealing on Friday that he's in negotiations for a fight against undisputed light welterweight champion Josh Taylor for a fight in the summer. It's unclear whether the undefeated 4-belt 140 champion Taylor will be permitted by the WBC to make a voluntary defense against Teofimo next, being that those sanctioning bodies have ordered Josh to make mandatory defenses, which they have. We're getting into right now. This week, the World Boxing Council ordered Taylor to begin negotiations with number one WBC contender Jose Zapata. Excuse me, I said Zapata. Last week, the WBA ordered Taylor to begin talks for a fight against mandatory Alberto Puello. Whether those two sanctioning bodies would be willing to let Taylor put their mandatory challenges on hold remains to be seen. If not, Teofimo will need to wait until 2023 for a title shot, assuming Taylor wins his back-to-back mandatory defenses. So this comes from Teofimo. The ref raised my hand. If anyone, that is the main judge. It's the ref, and he's talking about this. This is going back to the George Cambosos fight. They put me number two. Cambosos. They put me number 2 in the WBO rankings because I'm fit for it. I bring excitement for the 140 division. Whether Ryan Garcia or anyone else comes up, they've got to come see me at 140. That's me taking over the division. Me fighting for a world title is definitely the next fight. I look forward to being undisputed again. My goal is to be a three-time undisputed world champion. I'm looking forward to coming back in the summer. We're trying to make me and Taylor for undisputed. He's done at 140, but it looks like, he's done at 140, but it looks like we're working on some stuff. I'll get all of them in one shot. Again, Taylor and Teofimo are both signed with Top Rank Boxing, so it's understandable why the fight could take place. However, it's difficult to imagine that Taylor versus Teofimo fight can take place for the undisputed champion, given Josh's 2 mandatory defenses has been ordered. Nobody knows what I'm going through in that fight, but I'm not going to go into all that. But with that being said, with this being a possibility, how do you guys feel about this, right? How do you guys feel about this? Because according to Josh Taylor wasn't going to be fighting at 140 no more. He's going to be moving up. Josh Taylor said, hey, he was telling Catterall, he was like, hey, yo, Catterall, if you want to smoke, we could do a catchweight fight, or you can come meet me at welterweight, but I want that Terrence Crawford fight. You know what I'm saying? And remember, part of the reason Josh Taylor signed with Top Rank, because he had no idea that Terrence Crawford had plans of leaving, so he felt like that was his closest chance against the Terrence Crawford. Now that Terrence Crawford is with Top Rank, I'm pretty sure Josh Taylor and his team has to be like, okay, well, now we have to revise everything. So if you go up to 147, they're still the best of the best at 147, but ain't none of them with Top Rank, right? Now we got to think about some things. Okay. So I do see this being believable, but it is going to be, if it does end up happening, it is fucked up. But like I said, they've already put him in a position where, at least for Josh Taylor, where, hey, you got to fight your mandatories. But we've all seen that in boxing, if it makes more, let me take that back. If it makes more money, it makes sense. Not just if it makes money, it makes sense. If it makes more money, it makes sense. So if Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor makes way more money at 140, it's going to make way more sense than this guy fighting his mandatory. All right? That's my opinion. What do you guys feel about it? Please drop it in the comments below. As always, show some love to your boy. Show some love to your channel. Another appreciation to everybody up out of here, man. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Friday as well, man. Enjoy your weekend. I'm happy as hell about the weekend. Salute to people, positivity, blessings. I'm coming at y'all with the motherfucking boxing news. That's 3 potential fight announcements. All right, and all of them are fire, right? This is the most fire one if it really happens, but all of them are fire, man. Who else is giving y'all this type of content, man? Show some love to your boy as always. Drop in the comment. I don't care if you agree with me, disagree with me, or you just want to talk shit. Get in there. I don't care.